Meridian, our salvation. Wonderful forests, clean water. Meridian is the perfect planet. After we discovered it, the leaders of the United Earth devised a plan. They sent us to prepare for colonization in an isolated safe zone. Our job was to see if Meridian was a viable choice to be the next Earth. My name is Daniel Hansen, and in the past few years, I was supervising the preparations. Our work here is done. All squads are assembling at the 8th Perimeter Settlement, ready to go home. But we can't leave. Not yet.
All personnel, prepare for landing.
Alright, well, hello viewers and welcome to Meridian New World. Apologies in advance if the cutscenes are a little loud. I can't control their volume, or I can control the in-game volume. So, anyhow, Meridian New World here is a RTS on Steam's Early Access program. I thought it looked fairly interesting, so here we are, we're making a video and we're just really going to check out the first mission inside the campaign for this game to get a feel for it. Just a side note, I mean, the game is in Early Access, so it will be improved as it goes along. I mean, so far inside the menus. Oh.
Tell Commander Hansen we are ready to move out. Please follow us to the dropship.
Yeah, there will be quite a little bit of a narration inside this first mission, but anyhow, inside the campaign, aside from the campaign, you also have the ability to play skirmish missions, and it actually has a Steam workshop for those missions as well. And so I assume that the game has some sort of map editor or scenario editor in present too. However, there doesn't really seem to be multiplayer. And like I said, this part is a little heavy on the cutscenes.
A lot of you, probably all of you, are excited because the preparation is finished and our work is done. I have to admit, I'm ready to go home myself. But last night, Donovan intercepted this transmission.
I need immediate evacuation. A virus has infected our planet. If anyone receives this, I'm in Sector 16-2B, Meridian.
What worries me, and Donovan as well for that matter, is this virus she mentioned.
Oh, we have some choices here to make, so that's
Might be
very
nothing.
interesting.
We might still make it out of here in just a couple of days, but we must make sure it's nothing. Our plan is to take the ship near the origin of this transmission, and find out what we're dealing with.
Alright, well, I played a little bit into this. I've played, I would say, the first mission. So far, it looks fairly interesting. One thing is that you do actually have this, what I assume is a mission hub in the form of a ship, and you can actually access various different things. So, for example, there's a little encyclopedia here. We can pull up, so take a look at what the Great Crisis is. Various different people we can talk to aboard this ship. Various crew members as well, and I really enjoy how they sort of have those little section name tags, how they appear really, so it's really rather interesting. Anyhow, I'm pretty sure you guys are excited for the actual gameplay, so we'll skip this area for now. Yeah, different features. I expect this area to be sort of like a hub for future missions. Let's just talk to Donovan and see what happens.
So far, yes. However, fuel will become a problem sooner or later. Our reserves will eventually run out.
Any suggestions?
Not yet. And this isn't the reason why I asked you to come here. There's a faint signal emanating a couple of miles from here.
Could it be the source of that transmission we intercepted? An active power plant out here?
Looks that way. I suggest we land and check it out.
Alright, well, I suppose we'll go and we'll see how the mission really just plays out. Alright, perfect. Our troops have landed. We have a few of these Chimera units, and they appear to be these mechanized walker units. So the general premise of this early bit, it's fairly straightforward. Looks like already under attack. And as you might imagine, the plot sort of deepens from here.
It does, but for some reason it didn't pick up these live signatures. I'll look into it.
None of this makes any sense. At any rate, I've sent more troopers down there.
Oh, perfect. We get some more reinforcement units as well. That's rather nice. So yeah, we are pretty much just going to press through all of these troops fairly easily. As you might imagine, with it being the tutorial level and all, it's fairly straightforward in its presentation. One of the interesting things that the game introduces here is this healing system where, as you progress further through the game, you gain experience from whatever mission you so happen to play in. And as you may have noticed here, I'm gradually healing my troops, or at least trying to heal my troops to the best of my ability, using some of these side abilities.
I can't believe this. Who are these people?
Let me just get rid of these guys right now. So yeah, the interesting thing about this game is that it seems to have this meta skill queue where there are quite a few different abilities for you to unlock, and as you sort of progress through matches, you gain EXP, which I believe it's from blowing up units, but anyhow, you gain EXP where you can spend on these abilities. You can upgrade them too. And through these abilities, you sort of have some more influence onto the course of the battle, as you can heal your troops or do various different things.
Whoever was there, they left in a hurry, even leaving those chimeras behind.
Perfect. We can use those. If we can mine enough Shardium, we can refuel the ship.
Right, so now we get to take a look at some of the game, the base building elements in the game. So as you might imagine, the Shardium stuff over here is the base resource for the game.
I'd like to go down there to gather some data about that outpost.
Permission granted.
And an interesting thing about it is that the units inside this game, they seem to work on a system where you don't necessarily build them one unit for one role. They seem to be a little bit of omni-purpose in that you can customize the weapons on your guys. And I'll show you guys in just a minute here. So let's build a light factory as the game suggests, and we'll just place that here.
I'll arrive down there shortly.
And I mean, inside our little base here, all we really have is a mining structure and a few power plants. And we also have a few of these turrets which are pretty good too. Yeah, so we have a Shardium mine, which is this big thing in the center. The game seems to use 3 different resources. It uses food at the very bottom, which is a unit cap. You have the building power, which is more so of a cap on power units and buildings. And finally, you have Shardium, which is the base type of mineral. And again, overall for this game, I'm getting a StarCraft type of feel for it. And just going off of that, I mean, a lot of things sort of work towards that feel. Let's build a few units now, so we can build a few more of these Chimera units. The interesting thing about these guys is that you don't necessarily build them towards, say, one purpose or so. Evidently, there are these little, I would say, blaster-armed guys, in addition to the ones over here, which are working the mineral fields, gathering those resources and doing that stuff. So, yeah, anyhow, we have these power plants. We have 4 of them right here. We have that little refinery, have that light factory now. And in addition to that, we also have some turrets on a turret command center right here, which I found is it's a pretty interesting concept for a building in that it produces it allows you to pluck down these turrets next to it. And when the turret's command center sort of blows up, right, you lose the turret. So it's really rather interesting how they introduced that building there. I mean, it gives you that option of just sort of blowing up the unit command center instead of anything else. So we've already seen the basic healing ability. I see my guys are taking a little bit of damage here. I think I'll use it again. But I also have a few other different abilities, and it looks like we've leveled up, so I can actually get another one too. Let's see what we can do here in terms of just stuff in general. Right, we can, like I said, we can customize the weapons on these Chimerian units. So let's build a laboratory and let's see what we can actually make out of our forces here. And let's really just see what we can do from that. Looks like they're going to go and try to swarm my forces, so this will actually be a good time to level up some of our abilities. So far I have single repair, which heals one unit. I have area of effect repair, which heals multiple units, although it heals them for right around half of what the single unit repair does. And I also have a boost fire rate ability. I think I'll go for, let's go for overload this time, which will damage enemy vehicles. So we can unlock a few abilities like that, and furthermore, of course, we can upgrade them too, but I'm just going to drag this one down into my little hotkey bar of sorts, and now we can use that. So let's see, I see one enemy unit right here. And it looks like it just sort of nicks them. It doesn't necessarily do too much damage, but I mean, these abilities, they can have quite an effect in the game as it sort of just goes along. So again, you know, very, very interesting little features here and there. Let's see. That research base, where the lab should be finished just now, so perfect. And that'll allow us to research autocannons, which will be very, very helpful, I suppose. So, just taking a look at the current variant of the Chimera we have, it has a laser weapon on it, and it costs 40 units of, or 40 minerals to equip it, and it has an attack range of 8. It looks like that that autocannon, well, it doesn't show me the stats right now, but it looks like it does less damage to vehicles, so perhaps it does a little bit less to well, cars, and though it does have the ability to do much more damage to infantry just going off of that little blurb. Alright, so we'll get our troops to come over here and muck up the troops over here. And, well, I see quite a few of our guys are damaged, but none of them are necessarily that damaged, so I think I'll use that area of repair ability, and that'll heal them up a little bit. Alright, well, let's buy some more units, and let's see how these autocannon armed ones do. It looks like the autocannon armed ones, they cost slightly more. They do 6 damage to infantry, however, they only do 3 damage as compared to the lasers, which do 4. So they're more sort of specialty units, but it's really rather interesting seeing the interplay between the different types of units here and there. Let's see. So the enemy should be approaching. Ah, there we go, from the west. So we'll get our guys to stack up over there. One problem with the game so far is that currently it would seem as though you can't actually zoom in or move the camera in any other way apart from just scrolling it, which to me is a little uncomfortable. But apart from that, I mean, so far it's shaping up quite nicely. Let's see. Oh, some more units up here, some more infantry, and some more of those Chimerian little walker bots. I'm under the impression, I'm not quite sure about this, but it would seem as though the game does the Dune 2000 thing, where the Dune series of RTS thing, where it's like every single faction appears to use the same set of units. Though granted, there are quite a lot of variations, seeing as how you can equip individual soldiers with so many different types of weapons, though.
The enemy is constructing an outpost to the east. Attacks have stopped, and I'm detecting multiple outposts under construction in the area.
That outpost to the east could pose a serious threat. We don't have any turrets defending the east perimeter. Produce some chimeras and take out that outpost before we get overrun.
Alright, well, I suppose this is when the base versus base combat sort of happens. So let's get our blob of guys to go over there and attack. And the best way that the best, tactic for this little bit I found is just to sort of blob up your guys and give them an attack order. So that's sort of what I'll do. And it gives us a little bit of time to actually mess around with the different abilities that you have at your disposal here. So there's going to be some base turrets coming up, judging by that little cutscene right there. And that'll be an optimal time to use our boost fire rate abilities, which will definitely give us a little bit of a bonus onto those turrets. Actually, I see a lot of our guys hurt over here, so I'll use that group healing again, and I'll boost the attack on one of our guys. Looks like things are going a little bit better. We're starting to nick that turret, take that thing out, and I suppose we'll just come in here and just demolish everything in sight, really. Let's handle this Chimera for our guys. There we go. And they have some more turrets back here from the looks of it. Let's get our guys to focus fire on that turret and just really take that thing out. Boom. There we go. And you know, this would be a great time for an area of effect healing ability. So again, I mean, the game gives you quite a lot of these nifty. Well, it's a nifty take on RTS in that respect. Let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of the factory first before anything else. I'm waiting for the area of effect healing ability to come back, because our guys are seriously hurt over here, and it would be great if we could give them a little healing spell, or a healing ability, I suppose. Let's actually get these guys to blob up right here, so this thing should actually be able to cover all of them. There we go. And it looks like that area is cleared. Perfect. Right, so it looks like the enemy is launching one last attack, so I guess we'll, I'll get our guys to blob back up inside our base, and we'll really just see how well we can resist this attack. Now, this is actually pretty much the extent to which I have played the game, so actually everything after this point will be new to me as well. Nonetheless, though, it'll be fairly interesting to see how things play out. So, there we go. Oh. It appears the enemy has air units, so again, some interesting things. Ah, that's the bomber unit. It's a little... Oh, it's like a little hovering unit. Ah, perfect. It's dropping off tons and tons of reinforcements.
Donovan, what's your status?
About to land.
And again, we can really just use those abilities, get our guys healed and ready. And perfect, even more troops.
Yes, sir. Right away. Order. Give them hell, boys. What is your command? You don't.
Let's get our guys over here to take out those. Now we're really starting to have like a swarm of troops now, I suppose.
Yeah. Yes, sir. On it.
Oh, and there we go, perfect. So, looks like we finished that mission in 12 minutes, which is pretty good. Lost a few units, but killed a lot of units.
The database of that outpost, I found a map of the surrounding sectors. It shows a significant amount of abandoned outposts between us and the origin of Catherine Morgan's transmission. We can stop at a few of those outposts and mine some shardium so we can refuel the ship.
Let's ask him why
Any clue as to
detection
our
didn't
detection
work.
Systems were not working.
Part of our detection system was offline. That's why I didn't pick up any life signatures on the surface.
Oh, perfect. The game already has the voice acting, so I guess I won't have to do it.
Okay, why was it offline?
Well, I can't say for sure until I investigate further, but the most likely explanation is that someone on board had turned it off on purpose.
A traitor?
There can be other scenarios. It could just be a malfunction, maybe that's all. I'll keep looking into it.
All right.
I uploaded the map to our server. It should be available in the map room now.
Alright, so, like I said, I kind of suspected that the ship here would be a bit of a hub for missions. It's rather interesting how we can actually walk inside and check it out. So it looks like we have a large room in the center. I'm gonna guess that's like a mess hall or something. But I noticed this area and it looked kind of cool. So let's check out what the commander console is. So yeah, it looks like we can check out logons. We can take a look at passwords and stuff and such. So I suppose this area is would be a kind of a neat area to sort of explore and just sort of check out. We also have some, you know, more functional places such as the unit info tab. And it looks like this will give us